Rich Rodriguez has been in this conference for like 2 minutes, and he's already stealing Baylor transfer portal targets. This is the Locked On Baylor Friday Transfer Portal Report.
You are Locked On Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Bears fans. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Baylor. Happy Friday to you. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. I'm your host, Cam Stewart of ESPN Central Texas and The Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. Appreciate you making it your first listen today and every day. Yeah, I did. I called it the Friday Transfer Portal Report because I think that's what I'm going to do when we have a portal here. I don't know how much longer that's going to be until we need to shelf it until the spring portal, but that's what we're going to do for now. A little Friday, just quick hitter. I know you guys want to get into your weekends. Let's talk some transfer portal. Today, we're talking about Rich Rodriguez stealing probably the biggest defensive portal target for the Bears that's still out there, and who can they get at receiver? We've talked corner. There are some big-time receivers out there and some with some worthwhile ties to the area. Let's talk about that and a little bit more on this episode of Locked On Baylor. Rich Rodriguez, new to the Big 12. You might forget he did not coach in the Big 12 with West Virginia. He was long gone by then. Dana Holgorsen brought them into the Big 12 in 2012. And now Rich Rod back at WVU. Kind of a mixed emotions around that one for the Mountaineer fans. I actually think it's not a bad move. I think they could have done better. I'll say that. But then again, I don't have a solution for you. I don't know. You could have done better if you got this guy. I don't know. But I ranted and raved about Michael Coates, the corner out of Nevada, in a position that Baylor really desperately needs to improve. They had said as much. They are needing to attack that in the portal. And they showed interest in Michael Coates. There were all these reports of the interest being there and Coates trying to schedule a visit and everything. And now he is committed to the West Virginia Mountaineers. Bummer, man. Bummer. I like Coates. I like his story about being the kid who did not even play high school football, tried out for a junior college team, played JUCO for a couple years, starred at Nevada, 1 year of eligibility left, but a group of 5 All-American last year. That's the kind of guy Baylor needed. You know, he comes in, he's got some meat on his bones. He's played college football. There's no substitute for experience. You know, I always say you need to hit kind of the perfect blend in the portal. You need the young guys with some eligibility left who have a ton of potential. And you also need those guys who have been there and done that a little bit, both for football and basketball. You see Baylor doing it in basketball as well. Jalen Bridges is kind of speaking of another West Virginia guy, is kind of the perfect in between. Played a couple years, 2 years of eligibility in either football or basketball. Those are tough to come by. All right. You look at the Baylor transfer portal window for football this year. It's like Walker White, tons of potential, 4 years of eligibility. Friend of the show, Walker White. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode yesterday. I certainly did. So there's that. And for as many of those you have a couple more Phoenix Jacksons or Travion Barneses, guys who have been playing for a while, or the older of the Barrington brothers. That was Clark. You need a good mixture of both. I thought this guy could have brought you a salty veteran presence with also some real skill defending on the outside. Speaking of the outside, Bears got to get serious about wide receiver. Like, obviously you watch this team this year and you're like, well, that's, not a huge issue. They got some good receivers there. And I think Baylor's in a weird in-between. They've got some guys coming back with experience, like a Josh Cameron, say, a terrific receiver in his own right. But you are also kind of in between that next generation, right? Hal Presley gone. Jaden Porter probably not ready yet to take on that full of a role. Monterey Baldwin sounds like he's gone. Taz Williams is a big time playmaker, but he's going to be a true freshman coming off an ACL surgery. So you're in this in between here. Micah Gifford apparently been moving to defense. Dave Aranda says he wants to play him on defense after playing him in special teams this year. So you're in this in between where you've got to get some guys in here, and obviously like the Kobe Prentice pickup, but he does kind of project out to be a slot guy. You need some outside guys. You need some length on the outside. As productive as Hal Presley was at times, he didn't have a tremendous amount of length. As I mentioned on the show yesterday, wasn't like a Denzel Mims, or, Corey Coleman's obviously a different stratosphere, different kind of player. But you need a guy like a Thornton, like a Mims, who is going to win battles on the outside. Josh Cameron definitely does a little bit of that. I think he's more of a wide receiver, whereas you're looking for the X. You're looking for the man that's going to get open on third down. Your red zone threat, all of that rolled into one. Big play guy, red zone threat, all of it. And there are some guys out there. We're getting towards the end of like this portal time, right? This portal time frame is running pretty dry. You are going to have the spring, which we're going to hit that hard here on Locked On Baylor. But there are two guys I do want to highlight that are out there right now. First, Prince Strachan from Boise State. This is a guy who was playing in the college football playoff this year for the Broncos. And I think the Boise State people have categorized this guy as a big loss for them. The numbers are not like, oh my gosh, but 25 receptions for 304 and a touchdown. He's got the frame, 6'5", 212 pounds. He's only a sophomore, as Keith Jackson would say. And he caught 4 balls in the playoff game, by the way. But he is a guy who they were developing as their big playmaker on the outside for years to come. This is the guy they kind of saw as the future of their receiving core. 6'5". Can't teach 6'5". You cannot teach 6'5", man. And Boise State had a ton of confidence in him being kind of the future of their receiving core. He is a Bahamian, which, look, probably the best athlete at Baylor right now is Bahamian. He is from the Bahamas. VJ Edgecombe, obviously. Maybe, just maybe, VJ can talk him into it a little bit. But this is a guy who is, again, totally projects out as the exact kind of player that Baylor should be looking for, and that I think Baylor is looking for. So Prince Strachan is a name to keep an eye on. That's Strachan, in case you want to look him up, in case you don't believe me. The other guy has more of the production, and he's got more of the ties to somewhat of the area. And that is Tru Edwards from Louisiana Tech. Now he comes in, he's only got 1 year left. But I talk about the road that Michael Coates went and how impressive that is. Tru Edwards, same thing. Mansfield, Texas native, which I guess is North Texas, but it's pretty damn close to Central Texas, right? That's like an hour from Baylor. I think that should, an hour 10, that should qualify. So he's another one with that frame, 6'3", 201. Ultra productive player. All Conference USA, first team. Has been shopping around the Big Ten a little bit. I think both he and Strachan have looked at USC. But there are projections of him, looking at the Big 12 in the portal. There are reports of Tru Edwards looking at TCU and other local plays. A&M, Florida State, South Carolina. So he is hitting some big programs in there and some programs within Texas. Okay, he led his team in receiving yards. He had 940 receiving yards this year. Like, that's ready to be a 1,000-yard guy. In fact, he was the only player in the conference with 70-plus receptions. He had 77 of them. Again, led the team in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns with 6. He started at JUCO. He didn't have a ton of offers out of high school. JUCO to Hawaii, which is one of the worst programs in Division I, FBS, but worked his way up. Now he's at Louisiana Tech. He's an all-conference USA first-team guy. He goes from JUCO to now being poised in a position to play for a Power 4 team. Why not Baylor? Again, got that local connection. Parents can come to every game, man. And you're going to play in the funnest offense in Texas. I'll tell you that much. You're going to play in the best damn offense in this state. So if you want to be close to home and you want to keep catching touchdowns, Tru, Baylor's the place to be. TCU, I don't know. Hoover can get you the ball. But they're not what they once were. A&M, good luck. They already got Micah Hudson. Plus, who's getting them the ball? I don't know. UT, they got a running quarterback, Arch Manning. So if you want to come play in Texas and play close to home, this is the offense you want to play in. No doubt. Be catching passes from Sawyer Robertson for one more year and help Baylor transition to that next step, that next level of playmakers and receivers. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Drop that down in the comments below. Who should Baylor be looking at the portal? I had someone comment Bryce Lance. I would love to get Bryce Lance. I apologize. I don't remember who commented it. I would love Bryce Lance. He's not in the portal yet. Trey Lance's little brother. He's a stud at North Dakota State. Just won the national championship. Yes, that would be in a perfect world, probably one of the top 3 or 4 guys that I would love at that position. But it's not quite open there yet. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Who should Baylor be going after in the portal? Let me know what you thought about the Walker White interview and what you think about a little transfer portal update on Fridays. Again, I think this is a key time for these Baylor Bears to build towards what could be a Big 12 championship team in 2025. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a lot. We always try to get to 100 likes on the video. We don't usually get there, but one of these days it'll become commonplace because you guys have helped grow this channel so much. Subscribe, get us to that 4,000 subscribers because that's just going to make me happy and get you some better content out here. Thanks again for making it your first listen today and every day. We'll have all fresh takes for you to break things down in that game out in Tempe on Saturday night. We'll see you later on Locked On Baylor.